And spring is here and we've started our spring maintenance. So we've got a few changes this year. Obviously we've got David Byron has joined us as our new course manager, and he just wanted to make a few slight adjustments to what we do on spring maintenance. So I'm going to run you through the different steps, the different processes the team are following, and give you a bit of an understanding of why we're doing them and what we're trying to achieve. So like I say, a few changes to the process this year. We're actually not going to take any holes or cores out of the greens. We want to try and get some air in, and obviously it's important for us that it recovers a lot faster this year, so your playing conditions are a lot better earlier in the season. So we've got Lee out on the Verti-cut. So basically what they're doing, a lot of this is going to be more predominantly focused around the surface and getting the surface more even and healthier. So this mower has got vertical blades on it, so I'll show you in a second. I'll try and give you a bit of a close-up in a second of what Lee's actually doing. I'll take you around the front, show you in there, hopefully, if I can get just inside. You can just about see those blades, they're vertical. So what they're actually doing, they're set up to cut vertically into the surface. So they're going in about 5 or 6 mil at the moment. If I just zoom in, it gives you a bit of a groove, right? So the idea is that this cuts lines, might be able to see from a bit further right, cuts lines into the surface, just removing. I mean, you would have seen when I just had a little close-up of the mower. It's just removing that thatch in the surface, removing that horizontal growth, and to try and promote a bit more vertical growth, which we can then cut shorter. So Lee's out at front, and I'll take you to one of the other greens just to give you an idea what the rest of the team are doing. So following Lee behind on the Verti-cutter, we've got Ben on the normal greens mower. So you can kind of see this one's been done. You can see where there's a bit of inconsistent growth on the surface. You can also see where it's kind of standing the grass up, and where it stands the grass up, it highlights the different lengths and the different types of grass that's in there. And that's why we're just stripping this out, just to get that surface a little bit more even. So now it's standing up, we've got Ben out there, he's just going to be cutting, getting it all cut to the same height. And obviously there's still going to be a lot of debris, so Lee will come back and do it again, we'll go the opposite direction. And then we've got Jance on the blower, just making sure we get rid of any debris. So typically for greens maintenance, we've always taken cores out of the green, either spiked or cored the green, which is the plugs that we take out and leaves those holes. Now the reason we do that is obviously to aerate the green, get the airflow, get the roots growing down, and it allows us to get some top dressing into the depth of the green, the sand lower down in the green, and some sort of growth additives as well to allow the greens to stay healthy. Obviously that's part of it. Normally takes quite a long time to recover. And actually the upper levels of the green, typically the thatch levels are quite good. It's more the depth. So this year we're going to be using a machine called S2G2. Now it's an air compressor where it fires air into the greens. That's due into us towards the back end of the week. And once that's here, I'll get a video of it to show you exactly what it does and what it's doing for the green. So one of the other major projects that we've still got going at Crondon is the Fairway irrigation. So Steve and Perry have been working hard over the last month or so, couple of months, carrying on with the Fairway irrigation. So they're on the 9th at the moment, and they have done all the way up to the green between the bunkers. It comes round, then they've turf stripped up to here, so where these little flags are, and they've worked from basically the ditch up to this point at the moment. So hopefully another couple of weeks and they'll be finished on the 9th. So far everything on that side of the golf course. So working across, we've got the 10th, the 1st, 18, 16, 17, 15, the 2nd, 3rd and the 5th is all done. So that leaves basically going this way across the golf course. So the plan is still that the end of June this will all be done. So we've got obviously the rest of 9, 8, 12, 13 and 6 left to go for the par 4s and par 5s. So that should be, like I say, it should be done by end of June. Get a few questions as to why is it not been turned on at the moment. David, our new course manager, has requested that we don't turn it on just yet. It can be turned on, they can all be turned on, but obviously we've had quite a lot of work recently, and there's been a lot of heavy machinery on the golf course, and ultimately we haven't done any maintenance works to the fairways for years. So if we was to water it, it actually could cause more damage to the health of the turf, and the water would just be sitting on top. So over the next couple of weeks, you'll start to see David working on scarifying some of the fairways, stripping some stuff out, and starting to open up the fairway so that when we do water it, it's good for the turf health, and we can get air and water down a little bit deeper, rather than just the water just sitting on top, and the grass then doesn't need to go downwards. The roots of the grass doesn't need to go downwards in search of that water. So I'll carry on giving you an update as Stephen Perry crack on, but I'm sure you'll agree they're getting very neat and tidy with this, and they're doing an amazing job. Looking forward to it being on, and some of these drain lines just healing up a lot quicker this summer. As it's a lot quieter during greens maintenance week, we've had the tarmackers in as well. So after the first night, the guys have got the driving range road finished. So that's the whole road from the sign there all the way around to the junction, and then tomorrow night they'll be working their way back down the main road up to the front entrance. They're not doing the whole drive, they're just doing the sections that need doing, so the ones that are prone to getting potholes during the wetter and the colder months. So following on from yesterday's verti-cutting, the team have been out with this little spiker, so just putting little holes in some of the targeted areas, some of the areas that are struggling for a little bit of growth. So if I just try and zoom in on a little area where Adam's just been, you can just about see just leaving these little indentations in the surface, where eventually Adam's going to go over it with a seeder, and that puts bent grass in, so we're pure bent going into the greens. So following Adam round, while Adam's putting the seed in, then got Lee on the top dresser, so he's just putting some native buzzard sand down, top dressing sand. And this obviously then gets brushed into the gaps, the little holes, the little slits on top of the seed, just to protect it all and just bring the health of the surface back. Obviously that top dressing sand will also help to keep the surface a lot smoother as well. So once we've gone over it with the top dresser, then got Jansen following round with a brush, drag mat, and just brushing it in to make sure that that top dressing sand seed is all going into the holes and into the runs, and drops below the surface. The other big change that we've had at the club is that the pro shops now come in-house. So just giving you a quick run through of what we've got. We've still got Glenmuir for all of our club crested stuff. So we'll have the core products, the navy products, and then we'll be having kind of these individual lines where we'll only order one of each in. So once they're gone, they're gone. But we'll be keeping the core, the navy products, the team wear. You would have seen the email that I sent out maybe a couple of weeks ago now, where anything that's navy that says team wear on it, we can do it at 25% off. We've got FootJoy, so Titleist and FootJoy all come under the same company. Adidas, obviously wide range of gloves with Strixon, and golf balls with Strixon, and Ralph Lauren. There are a couple of other brands that we have got that we actually haven't got in the shop. So we've got a couple of pair of Nike shoes, but we do get some of the Nike clothing. We've got Bushnell and Garmin. We've also got accounts for both of those, so if there's anything that anyone wants from either of those brands, obviously we can order them in and we can price match online. From the survey that we had, that we sent out before we started up this shop, Jalenberg was one of the bigger brands that people wanted. Unfortunately, up to now, we haven't been able to open an account with those guys. Although I have got a meeting with them next week to see if there's something we can do to get product in, because I know a lot of you are asking for it. We will be running promotions each week, so for members, keep your eyes out. This week we've got 10% off any FootJoy polos, and there'll be different bits and pieces each week. We'll be trying to offer you members perks. If anyone's got any questions or anyone would like anything ordered in, let us know and we'll do our best to get product in. So the majority of the maintenance has now been completed out on the greens. So if I just zoom in very, very close, you can see there's been some fertiliser added in, so that's just got to be brushed in. There's still a little bit of top dress. Feedback that I've had from members is that the greens are rolling great. They're rolling really well, decent pace. So look, recovery shouldn't be too long. And it's all looking positive. The original plan to complete the greens maintenance this spring was to use an Air 2 G2 machine. So the Air 2 G2 machine fires air into the green. So basically there's 2 or 3 needles on the machine that fires air underneath and breaks up that soil structure underneath and works a lot deeper. Unfortunately, the machine that we had booked on hire is broken. So we've been waiting for parts and obviously waiting for where it is to finish their maintenance, and it'll be coming to us. The positive thing with that machine is that once it's done, it'll probably take about 20 minutes, half an hour to do each green. We can iron it out and then you won't even know it's happened. So we'll get that done as soon as the machine's here. That'll be out on the golf course and we'll get it finished and finish off greens maintenance. So hopefully this year you'll see a much quicker recovery. We're already starting to get some great feedback that the greens are rolling well. And we can get you guys playing on a good golf course as quick as possible.